Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
In a village outside New Delhi, a doting mother attends to her little girl. Mahi is just 2 days old. Her cries mark a symbolic moment. India is expected to surpass China as the world's most populous country. Mahi's father, Veerpal Singh, and mother, Lakshmi, are school dropouts. Their families had little income and many children to feed. Singh, a farmer, started working with his father in their fields at a young age. He says he'll do whatever it takes to help Mahi achieve her dreams. Even if I have to sell my fields to educate her, I will. One of the biggest challenges she'll have to face is the country's growing population. There's stiff competition, Singh tells me. India's birth rate has slowed, but the country is still quickly adding to its 1.4 billion strong population. According to UNICEF, more than 67,300 babies are born in India every day. That's 1/6 of the world's birth counts daily. Already more than half of all Indians are under the age of 30. That means a huge potential to grow the national economy. But education and investment need to keep up if there are going to be jobs for a new generation.
I really feel it's a 10-year opportunity. Do it right, and this is a dividend. Do it wrong, and this is going to be extremely worrying for the Indian economy and India's youngsters.
28-year-old Sunil Kumar has a postgraduate degree but doesn't hold a steady job. For years now, he's been sweeping the floors of a school in his village in Haryana state and doubling up as a tutor for young students. Despite his education, Kumar barely makes enough to support his ailing father and the rest of his family. Sunil says it angers him that he doesn't have a steady job despite his educational qualifications. Across India, the most highly sought-after jobs are more competitive than ever before. Pursuing their dreams, tens of thousands of students from small towns move to big cities to be coached for the coveted civil services exam. Some, like Sarang Agarwal, have been trying to crack the exam for 4 years now. Agarwal says his younger brother is sponsoring his education. They could have bought 3 to 4 cars with the money they've spent on me, he says. Over 1 million people sit for the entrance test each year. Less than 1% make the cut.
The population is growing and the working age population is growing. If that category of people do not find enough employment, then what was meant to be an opportunity, the bulge in the demographic dividend, so-called, could become a huge challenge and problem for India.
India's new global title will mean little if it doesn't come with fresh opportunity.
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
SpaceX's Starship is about big scale, big plans.
8, 7, 6.
And as of Thursday morning, big send-off. At 8:33 Central Time, Starship lifted off from the orbital launch pad for the first time, soaring higher than any Starship so far. Then, SpaceX says multiple engines went out. Starship exploded. Big loss? Listen to the live SpaceX commentary. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk tweeted his congratulations to the team, despite the explosion SpaceX called a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Space experts say it's the right call.
The whole job of test is to find out what goes wrong, to let things fail.
There definitely were some big successes here.
They'll overcome this, and we'll be on the way, and we'll be landing on the moon late 25, early 26.
We're going inside?
A live stream group more than 5 miles from the launch ran inside when apparent debris started falling from the sky. Others said sand-like particles covered their cars. The FAA says there were no injuries or public property damage reported. It will oversee the investigation to ensure Starship can return to flight.
I think it's the right thing that we are looking up and looking and dreaming big and trying to push our frontiers.
This future crew member says the explosion doesn't deter him, accepting big risks in hopes of bigger discoveries. I'm Emily Schmidt, reporting.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
Swing and a ball lifted in the air, left field, pretty well struck.
MLB The Show 23 naturally has Major League Baseball's current teams and players, but this season marks a franchise first involving the sport's history.
2 pitching combatants are going at it. One was the name of the legendary Satchel Paige. The other, a young player from Cuba by the name of Montevideo.
The new season of the game features the debut of players and teams from the Negro Leagues, complete with commentary from Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri.
This platform by far and away supersedes anything that we could have ever done to drive kids through our doors to kind of gain an understanding of what the Negro Leagues represented.
The Negro Leagues are a very important part of not only baseball history, but also Black history and American history. And we have been asked for years, when are you going to introduce Negro League players into the game? So we needed to figure out an interactive way to introduce them into the game, to be able to educate, enlighten, and inspire.
The result is the Storylines game mode.
By the time John Donaldson gets to the Kansas City Monarchs, he is really beyond his prime. But don't get it twisted.
More than a pinch hit, Storylines content is planned for multiple seasons.
The fact that we conceivably now have 5 years to continue to introduce more unsung stars of the Negro Leagues, people that you should know, but you don't necessarily know them unless you are a hardcore baseball historian. Some of these names you won't know, but it doesn't lessen how great they were. His skill set was incredible. A great hitter who you could rely on to come in and get the job done on the mound as well.
Leveling Up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Follow the Advocate channel on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated on stories that matter every day. Here's our number 1 story of the day. Take a look.
It appears President Joe Biden wants to spend another 4 years at the White House. Biden has reportedly signed off on a plan to formalize his intentions to run for re-election.
As my mother and Miss Grandma said, God love you.
4 sources familiar with the situation say a video announcement about another White House bid could be released as soon as Tuesday.
If you look at the polls right now, it looks like it's Trump and Biden. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to pick. Maybe we should try to avoid that.
But Biden has more pressing matters than a possible rematch against former President Donald Trump, including this week's report from the Labor Department, which says first-time jobless claims are up, and the looming deadline for raising the U.S.'s debt ceiling.
Would you simply raise the limit, or would you first sit down and look at what you're spending your money on? Every household does that, and Congress should do the same.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's plan, which he says will get through the House next week, has not impressed the Biden administration.
The way to have a real negotiation on the budget is for House Republicans to take threats of default when it comes to the economy and what it could potentially do to the economy off the table.
If McCarthy's bill gets through the House, it's not expected to pass the Democratic-led Senate. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Thanks for watching the Advocate channel's top stories. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow, like, and share, or check out advocatechannel.com for even more stories that advocate for you.